Milwaukee recently released their 2684 dual action random orbital polisher, and that review has led you guys to ask me a lot of questions about the DCM848 from Dewalt, and you guys wanted to see a little bit of a comparison. We're going to go through all the little differences and nuances between these two machines, maybe give you an idea of which one you should pick up, but the reality is these two are very close. Stay tuned. When comparing the Dewalt and the Milwaukee, they're both very, very similar. They both have 5-inch backing plates with a 15mm throw, 2-finger triggers that are both variable speed. The Milwaukee has just a lock on where the Dewalt has lock on and lock off. Both of them have twisted batteries on the end. The Dewalt has a little area in the back that it can lessen the vibration a little bit on the battery, but that area, if you hang on to it, will also kind of amplify some of the vibrations to your hands. Not a big deal. The Milwaukee's handle is slightly less, so it makes you use 2 fingers to a point. There is the same dampening on the end of this. You can see me twist it a little bit, but you don't feel it. And if you didn't really twist and move this around, you would hardly know that it's here, and that really doesn't amplify anything, at least at this point in time. If we flip these guys over, they both use almost the same knob here to adjust your max RPM. The Dewalt goes from 2,000 all the way up to 5,500, although I don't see a huge increase between 5,000 and 5,500. Milwaukee goes from 2,650 to 5,100, and both triggers on this are absolutely easy to use. The Dewalt's a little louder. Check this out. It has a little bit more of a motor sound to it, where you get less of that with the Milwaukee. The big difference in the way that you hold on to these units is up front. You have a smaller little nub up here on the Milwaukee that I find easier to hang on to. I can get 2 fingers around it, I can get my whole hand, I can get different places. This really isn't meant to put pressure down, it's just meant to hang on to. The Dewalt's larger, so 2 fingers is a little bit more awkward, but it still holds a palm very comfortably if that's how you use it. Sideways it's a little different, but it all works together, and Dewalt also offers a side handle, although I don't know how many people actually use it. It's just there. So when you look at these two units, they're basically the same, and in fact almost the same length, almost the same height. You know, they're just, the Milwaukee is built a little slimmer when it comes down to it, but almost everything is there. Let's talk about power, ergonomics, and vibration. Here's the meat and potatoes. Basically, when it comes down to it, both the Dewalt and the Milwaukee share very similar power, and while you're using them, I don't think that you would tell the difference between the two. When it comes to the variable speed and the variable speed trigger, basically the same. Dewalt's a little bit louder, just with a different tone that might be pretty similar in actual noise that comes out in the decibels, but perceived noise, the Dewalt seems to have a little bit different tone that makes it feel a little bit louder. When it comes down to ergonomics, as I stated, I really like the little nub in front of the Milwaukee and maybe the slimmer design of the Milwaukee, but the reality is both of them are long enough and the batteries stick out enough that if you get them in odd situations on a vehicle in different curves, you can hit that battery on different areas because they're longer and the battery does stick out. It's not like a rat tail that you would find on most corded models, and it gives you more area to move around. So they both do the same thing in odd areas as far as that goes. Vibration felt. There is a touch more vibration felt in the Dewalt than the Milwaukee. Not much. It is not something that you would have a difference or feel the difference long term using this all day, but there is just a touch more of a vibrational feel in the Dewalt. Now that could be because this Dewalt was purchased in 2019 and the Milwaukee is brand new. Tough call on that one. But at the same point in time, right now, the Milwaukee has a slightly more refined feel, more like my Rupes corded model in the Dewalt's just a touch less refined with a little bit more vibration. Overall, if you're looking at these two and you're wondering which one to buy, the Milwaukee is currently a little bit less expensive at $299, where the Dewalt's at $329. But at the same point, right now, it's hard to find the Dewalt. So easier to pick up the Milwaukee, a little bit less expensive. But if you're in the Dewalt battery line, don't be afraid of the Dewalt, because it really is just as good as of a polisher. And there's very little difference. Very, very little difference when it comes down to it. Very seldom do we have two tools that are dang near identical, separated only by slight differences in grip. It may be a touch difference in perceived vibration. You can't go wrong with either one of these. That's why I didn't go out in a full all-on-out video with this. They are so close to the same. I mean, so close that they really work well. As far as battery power on both, I normally use the Dewalt with a 5 amp hour battery because it's a little bit slimmer. The Milwaukee comes with a 6 amp hour battery, and I think you could use it with a 5 without any issues, because the 6 amp hour lasts a very, very long time, and I don't believe that you need the extra capacity output to run either one of these. Both great tools. If you're in the market, I'd highly suggest either one of them. I use them both quite often. I haven't quite gotten away from the cord yet, because the cord does allow me for a little bit smaller tool, a little bit more angles to move around with, but either way, these both rock. So questions below. Give us a like in this video. Thank you for your time. Have a great day.